Do you enjoy the extra protection of bags on your movies, or do you like keeping them naked? In today's physical media news topic video, I'm going to be talking about some of the pros to bagging your movies, some of the cons, and then ultimately my decision on whether I bag or not. So let's get into this. First, to talk about some of the pros with bagging your movies, and obviously, you want to protect them, of course. You want to protect those nice looking slipcovers or steelbooks. You don't want them to get scratches or dents on them. You value the art of the covers. Yes, the collectability nature of it all. You want to preserve that in the best way possible. And not only that, you don't know exactly who's handling your movies. You ever have that friend that comes over and then just starts grabbing your movies off the shelf to look at them and touch them and get their own hands on them? No, you do not want that to get a scratch or a dent or to be dropped in any way to cause that damage. So you may trust yourself with handling your movies properly, but do you trust everybody that comes over to handle your movies properly? That's a whole nother question entirely. And then, of course, later on, you may want to resell some of these movies to slim up your collection or get rid of the ones you don't need anymore. So it's an investment for some people, not everybody out there. And not every movie does go up in value. Of course, a lot of them do go down in value. But for the ones that do go up in value, you want to be able to sell it at the highest price possible so people aren't going to want to buy ones with scratches and dents and messed up covers. So you want to keep them as prestige as possible. These are all great reasons why you may want to consider bagging those movies. Now to get into the cons here of bagging your movies, because there's always drawbacks. We have to look at the flip side of the coin here. And first of all, if you're spending money on protectors, that less money in your pocket to go towards more movies. Yeah, there's varying prices for bags and protectors depending on quality, depending on quantity, but at the lower end on Amazon, it seemed about $12 for a 10 pack, which, hey, $12, that could go to a whole new movie, a Blu ray for sure, even a 4K on a discount. So you're missing out on a movie to protect some of your cases. So it really comes down to the value you put on the cases. Now, some people don't really care about the cases at all. They just want the movie. They just want the disc in the collection. That's their main focus. They don't really care about the art and the collectability of the case as much. Or maybe they care, but just not as big of an emphasis on it as some other people that do bag their movies. And that is all fair. Once again, it just kind of depends on your preference with that. But yeah, if you spend more money on the cases, less money for movies themselves. Not only that, the extra protection does cause more space to be taken up on the shelf. So imagine if you bag every single slipcover steelbook you got, that's going to be a lot of space taken up with that extra protection. That means less movies you can fit on the shelf. As physical media collectors out there, we're already having so many space problems as it is. So is it worth it to protect movies and lose some movies in your collection just because you can't handle the capacity anymore of them? That is also another question to consider here. And then also just think about it. The disc is already being protected by the case, the slipcover, the steelbook. I mean, isn't that already the protection for the disc itself? Here you're basically protecting the protection. I get it though, because I got my Funko Pops here that I like protecting their cases because I'm an inbox collector. So I totally understand. But once again, this comes down to preference and just some things to consider when deciding to bag or not bag yourself. Now to get into my decision and my preference on whether I bag or do not bag my movies, and currently, right now, who knows, this might change in the future, I do not bag any of my movies. I personally just rather put the money more towards getting a new movie itself, because to me, the most important part, once again, to me, is just the disc, the movie, wanting to see the movie in that quality at home. That's what I most care about. So I'm happy the case itself is the protection for the disc. So that's what I like to do with my money just personally. And also, I'm not going to be reselling my steelbooks and slipcovers. That's just not the game I'm into. I'm not about that. To me, I just don't have the time to go through all that hassle. But some people love to do that. More power to them. But everything I pretty much buy, I'm going to keep for the most part into my collection. And to me, I just don't care too much if I get slight damage on the movies. Yeah, I'd rather not have the slight damage. Of course, I'd rather have it be perfection. And yeah, that would be ideal, but you gotta understand that occasionally there is gonna be a slight damage, a scratch, a slash there, a dent here or there. And yeah, it's gonna happen at some point from handling these movies, especially as blue tubers here. We show these movies we're handling, I mean, things happen, right? Occasionally a movie might get dropped. We don't want that to happen, but occasionally it can. And so no matter what, nothing's gonna be perfect. I mean, I doubt anybody has a collection where every single movie is 100% perfect. There's gonna be some kind of damage no matter how much you try to protect. Yes, the more you do protect, of course, the less damages overall you're gonna get. Totally fair enough. But once again, like I said, to me, the case is secondary to the disc itself. And once again, I'd rather just put my money more towards the discs and more movies in the collection. But once again, that's all my preference. So it's all about if you love the bag, if you don't really care about bagging, you just got to think about some of these questions to consider if you're on the fence. So let me know in the comments below, do you like to bag your movies or keep them naked? And why? Let's have those fun movie conversations down below. And if you love collecting physical media just like me, make sure you subscribe right now. That way I can keep you entertained and up to date on all the latest physical media topics. And if you enjoyed this physical media news topic, choose another one right now. And thank you so much, my mega membership supporters.